Hi everyone, it is Heidi here for our subscription time. So the question for today is around soul cards. Do they exist? How to clean them? That's a huge topic. So if folks want to ask more specific questions, I will answer more specific questions like how to cut them, how to maintain them, all of it. But I'm just going to start with the basics right now. And maybe I'll do a soul cord maintenance and cutting class if people are interested. If people are interested, please message, talk about it. I'm totally down to answer all the questions. They're just massive categories and there's a lot to cover. So yeah. So soul cords, do they exist? Yes, they exist. What are they? It's your connection to anything around you. So if I have seen this water bottle, that is slightly off camera, my water bottle. If I have seen this water bottle, I have a connection to this water bottle. That's essentially what a soul cord is. It's a connection to you and the world around you. And everything that you have a connection with will go both ways. So, soul cords are kind of like an energetic highway. Like if I have a friend here and I have a friend here and I have a friend here and I have a friend here, I'll have soul cords to all of them. And depending on what kind of a relationship I have with them will determine the quality of my soul cord. So is it healthy? Does it have curses? Is it sucking? Just like a little vacuum, like a little leech, based on the relationship. So what's the best way to maintain your soul cords is to keep yourself in healthy relationships. Like one of the huge reasons why you want to make sure you're not mean to other people or unnecessarily cruel. Like it's great to be truthful, but you can be cruel in your truth. You can just rip a strip off someone with your truth. And it might be true, but you can still be kind because that relationship that you have with that person, like say this is a really classic. You're in a relationship with another person. You feel like the relationship isn't mutual, right? It's not mutual. That person is taking more than they're giving. They might be. And the best way to find out is to think about them, to find your soul cord, cut it off. I'll do that in another video because that's like an entirely different thing. And will take a while to do it properly. So I don't want anyone just like doing it I watched a video of YouTube. Like that's gonna go badly. I don't want that. Oh my God, I do not want that. I'm just here to tell you what they are. You'll feel like, oh, well, someone else is like kind of taking energy from me, or it's like they're pulling me, they're wanting me, it's because you might have a sucky soul cord, pulling that energy in you. You might feel like every time I'm around this person, I just feel like, oh, well, maybe your connection has malintent between the two of you. And when it just is like, if you were to cut the needy soul cord, the one where you feel full, you would find like a hose, just like an endless sucking hose. And if you were to cut the soul cord where like, oh, I just don't feel like that person likes me, they hate me, you might find like oily guck, just like wah, 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 like getting like curses, basically malintent. We can do a whole other section on curses. For now, we're talking about soul cords. So you have this, and then a healthy one would just be like, it's just good. It's just good and it's happy. So what people normally do is that they only pay attention to the soul cords when they feel like they're being cursed or someone hates them, or they go through a breakup and they're feeling lots of energetic. You have to understand that you are a part of that dynamic. It's not just other people puking on you. You are a part of that dynamic. and you have the power to tend to that dynamic. So one of the really cool things about soul cord maintenance is that, yeah, you should cut all your soul cords every once in a while and let them grow back fresh. The ones that are dead are not going to grow back. The ones, seriously, you don't have to worry about them. And the ones that are alive will grow back because they're alive. And if you ever have done a soul cord cutting ceremony and then directly afterwards, you feel like all of a sudden everyone's calling you. Well, yeah, because they could feel like, oh, I haven't felt Heidi. I gotta gotta reconnect. My connection is in danger. And you're like, yeah, because they just cleansed. So yeah, I like to do, oh, this is like going to be a longer thing if I go into it, but essentially I, like most people, I cut the soul cords when I feel like they need to be cut. Um, but I try to do like a general cleanse, like where I cut all of them like once a year. And a really good exercise to do, if you do soul cord cutting, is to write down who are your people that are in your daily life. Like, who are the people that are like, you're definitely going to be talking to them again. And on New Year's, just cutting all those cords and then letting them grow back. What's something about when you cut your soul cords and you go back in a relationship with people, oftentimes you'll find that, oh, I didn't realize that person had changed, right? Because you had a dynamic, and even though you thought that you weren't a part of that dynamic, you were. In your expectation, you always are. Like the viewer, the observer is always influencing the situation, which is another reason why we're supposed to be witnessing things, right? And not like judging them all the time, but humans judge constantly. So like all this stuff gets metaphysically messy like so quickly. But after you do a soul cord cleansing, you'll notice that people respond to you differently. And that's good. That's it. You've grown, they've grown. Like, let's make a new connection. So like just general soul cord maintenance where you're not cutting out exes or ex-friends or fuck you or fuck, which those are curses too. You're putting that into the tube that's between you. So like the reason why I don't think you should be mean to people isn't because I'm like, oh, you shouldn't be mean. Like sometimes you have to be mean. Sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. Like everything is on the list of things to use. Like that's not the point. The point is I don't want to put it in my connection. I don't want that. Like I will if I have to, because sometimes you need to, but it's throwing around too much spice is going to burn you. It's like playing with fire. At some point it's going to hit you too, because you're a part of that dynamic, which we can talk a lot about in future times, because it's important to like be mindful that like energy doesn't go one way. You think, oh, I'm just giving it to that person. Well, that person's in connection with you. Like even if you cut that soul cord, like they might not be in connection, but they're going to be sending that energy back. Like at what point do you want to just bury the hatchet, that the entanglement issue with soul cords of people that have enmeshment issues or anxiety issues can get really messy, because I don't know. This is how it worked for me, is that I would get anxious about my relationship with someone and then like pull on the cord. And then the other person would feel like, oh, I feel pressure to respond, you know? And learning metaphysical tools just to help me feel more calm, feel more peace. Like they had more ways to tend the fire, more ways to take care of myself. Um, because even if you like know that there's something going on, you can talk to someone and maybe that person isn't in a place where they're able to tell you. Maybe that person isn't aware of it. Maybe that person is scared of you. Maybe you've been mad at that person and they're terrified you're going to rip a strip off them again, so they're not going to tell you. Maybe there's trauma around it. Like in that case there would be trauma, so you would have to like be really kind and loving and break down that trauma before they're going to tell you, right? But you can still feel it. So sometimes soul cord cutting is really good for like uncovering mysteries. feel like something's up, but I can't tell, do a soul cord cut and just reset it and then let it come back fresh. History does a lot for people. So yes, I will do a whole video on soul cord cutting, but it's important to do. Yeah, I might make a class around it. So if you're interested in doing it collectively, get at me. I'm gonna make one course as like just a downloadable one where you just go like, okay, it's this Heidi's like little course thing, and there'll be ones where like I'll be there live and we'll do it with you, so you kind of get a feel for it. Most people get hung up on the fact that they're real. Like, oh my God, soul cords, are they real? And you're like, yes, they're real. Like most people are just full stop there. And then once you're like, oh my God, they're real, then they're like, I have to maintain them. And how do I cut my cords? And can I do a candle ceremony? And can I use an athane? And what's an athane? And Heidi, how do I cleanse? And most of the time what I'm seeing is just like when a kid cleans their bedroom. If they're trying, but they don't really know how to do it. And so it's not really happening. And then it can make it way worse. So I do a separate video where like, it's like an intro. Right? I'm not trying to withhold you. It's a big topic. It's a big topic, man. But how do you know it's time to clean? You generally just feel dirty. Like you feel dirty. And it is a different feeling than like, okay, my auric body, my energy body is dirty. I have to clean it. Like there's definitely ways to clean that, but like just like your soul cords, your relationships, like you'll feel compromised. That's usually the best. That's usually how I can tell when I need to do it. I'll feel compromised or I feel kind of stuck. And then won't be something that it's not just about me cleansing my body. Like I need to shift allow things to die. Just like, yeah, the stuff that's alive is always going to grow back. And the stuff that is like sucky or curses, they're parasitic. They're not existing on their own strength. So once you cut it, you just make sure you put it in cleanse it, practice energetic hygiene, like put it in. Yeah. We'll go over like how to do it properly. But that is a little, are they real? What are the different kinds? And yeah. Okay. So I'll answer questions about athanes and how to do it. If you have any questions about that, just DM me. I will answer them all. Okay. Bye.